So we'll kick it off. Dan, nice to see you.
Good to see you,
Happy
mate.
New Year.
And to you, buddy.
Obviously this is Dan Phillips. Some of you might know him on TikTok as 1 Minute Beer Review. Yeah?
That's the one, lad.
That's the one. A bit better than the first intro.
Do you know what? It's funny you should mention that. My mate Liam was around last night for a few beers. Both him and Tara were taking the piss.
We took the piss a few times, me and one behind the camera.
No, I remember you sending me a video of you both just doing it, and it was like, bastards.
No, it's fine, mate. I mean, at the end of the day, we've all got to start somewhere.
We do.
We've all got to start somewhere. But well done on the success. That we'll go into that obviously a little bit later on. Obviously over the last 2 weeks since we started, there's been a lot of guests coming forward. But I think for yourself, you know, it's great to have you on, especially with that massive following you've got on TikTok and the areas that we're covering, which is obviously drugs, alcohol, overeating, mental health, addiction and life just in general. I think you could probably bring quite a lot to the table on that. You know, some hard times and some great times as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I suppose we'll just start in terms of Dan Phillips, aka 1 Minute Beer Review, where it started growing up, home life, school life, any hobbies that you had at the start. So that's a couple of things that I don't know about you.
Yeah. Well, you know I'm from a council estate, you know.
Likewise.
Yeah, grew up poor growing up.
Yeah.
You know, my dad he works in a factory, my mum on and off working.
Yeah.
PI Castings in Altrincham.
PI casting, no?
Everyone's worked there.
Yeah.
My mum worked there for a bit. She was a taxi controller working nights and stuff, and me, 2 sisters, you know, trying to get, you know, just on the breadline.
Just getting by, getting through.
Getting by.
So what was PI castings then, just briefly?
I ain't got a clue.
No,
I ain't got a clue. There's
Was
not a
that
lot of
80s?
people work there. 90s, 90s sort of time, you know. You say 80s, I was born in 88, you cheeky man. So I don't look older than you, but I am older than you, but yeah, you know, just went to a standard primary school, standard high school. You know, times were tough. You know, they did the best for us though, mum and dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just hobby-wise, just playing football with the lads.
Yeah.
You know, just kicking balls at cars.
Better PlayStation.
Bit of PlayStation, bit of Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
You'll blow the game.
Got to blow the cartridge. It's not. Yeah, somebody you know kicks off and nudges the console so slightly.
Yeah,
that's reset.
What was your favourite game on 64?
GoldenEye, brilliant game.
I knew you were going to say that.
What a game that was.
I loved it. Do you know my best part?
Go on.
The intro. When they shoot the screen and the blood comes
Yeah,
down.
it just looked just like it was. I mean, right now it's crap. It really is. But
Yeah.
when we were kids, it was like
state of the art.
It's like, wow, this is better than Tomorrow Never Dies.
No, with you.
Yeah.
So, you know, we'll sort of move on then. So, in terms of work life, again, that's where we kind of met. I can't quote the year, 2014, 15.
I mean, earlier than that, you know.
From guessing, yeah. But that was kind of like, you know, sort of office job, lead gen, customer service on the phones, and
boring.
And that's how it boring, correct, mate?
Yeah.
And that's how we started. And you know, I remember we were in the same introduction, and I remember it now. I was sat next to you, and I just remember thinking, this is one funny guy. And I think, you know, when was that now? So that was sort of 8 years ago. You know, it feels longer, to be honest with you.
It might have been longer, you know. It might have been 2013, 2014 actually.
Yeah.
Thinking about we're 2023 now, so yeah, we're probably talking 8, 9. Yeah, you're right.
10 years.
I'll just shut up.
Yeah, and obviously you've known, I think, my dad a little bit longer than me, was it? Would you work been prior to that, or?
No, do you know what? I think I met you and your dad at the same time, actually. But then I think I've worked with your dad a bit more.
Yeah.
I worked with you longer tenure.
Yeah.
But worked with your dad most recently.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. More places as well. So.
That's it. Yeah.
Cool then. So obviously, currently still in the finance game, just like me in my sort of day job. Probably go into that a little bit later, but sort of one thing that I've, especially when you join the first sort of major business with me, going back to what year was that? 2020, I think, wasn't it? 2019, 2020.
2020, yeah, just before COVID.
Yeah. Jesus. So I remember one conversation that we had where we were discussing the prison service, and we were discussing it for about a good 45 minutes just at my
desk. Absolutely. As well as that, I don't think catching any of my follower base know as well.
No, so that's what's going to be crazy.
Little exclusive here for everyone, you know. Started in the prison service in 2019. Sorry, no, not 2019, because that was like 3 years ago. In 2008, sorry.
We'll cut that out.
Cut that out. It's raw, it's unedited, it's uncut, it's unscripted.
Unscripted.
You know? No, started in, I was 19, moved to London, 2008. You know, I had a girlfriend at the time, left her in Manchester and went down to London. So I was just bored of, growing up, I was never allowed a part-time job when I was 17,
Right.
16, 17, 18, because it would have messed up with like my mum's money.
Oh,
Because she was on, because she was like housing benefit and shit like that. And it was like, if I end up getting a job and they're going to take that as, so I was literally living on 30 quid a week EMA.
I remember that.
Remember the EMA? Remember that, yeah. Little £5 Vodafone top up
So I
on
used to
Friday.
drink in the SU.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
£5 Vodafone top up, 10 rich from Super Kings, mate. Weekend millionaire, you know. So I just got bored of education, wanted a job. And my dad was working down there anyway, so it was like, get me an application form done.
Yeah, sort it out.
Yeah, and he said, no. I think no, so I don't want you working there, Dad. I'm like, look, I'll be the judge of that. I'm 18 now, you know, I'm not going to college. I'm not going to become a teacher. That was what I wanted to be.
Yeah.
And yeah, he did all the tests myself, did all the job simulation myself, did all the fitness tests myself. Amazingly, I passed the fitness test every year, by the way. I got to 5.4 on the bleep test every year.
Smashed it.
Come on.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically went down there and I've got stories that'll curl your hair.
Yeah.
You know, maybe not yours.
Good luck.
You know, stories that'll curl your hair. I've met all sorts of wrong-uns, all sorts of decent people, just on wrong place, wrong time sort of thing, you know. And it's where I met Tara, you know.
Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah, we had a little bin lid, didn't we?
Yeah.
And Josh. Got
So
married down there.
you met Tara, she was in the prison service as well.
Yeah,
She was doing the same job as you. Obviously you had Josh. Did you have Josh based when you were in London?
Yeah, so his passport says place of birth, Chertsey.
Right,
That's what it says.
How do you feel about
You know, he's
that? He's a man.
he's an honorary man, isn't he? You know, he doesn't like gravy.
He doesn't like gravy.
He's getting into it to a certain degree.
Okay,
you know.
I'll let him off.
So he's coming around to gravy.
How old is he?
He's 13 in March, actually. Can't believe that.
If he's 18, he still don't like gravy. We'll have to rough him up.
If he's 18 and he don't like gravy, then he's getting evicted on his 18th birthday. Yeah, you're the government's problem now.
You can't be no son of damn peas, mate. Not like
You know what I
gravy.
mean? No gravy for me. You know, so. But yeah, he's 13 in March. He's bugger lugs. He's a good lad.
No, class, mate. Okay, so prison service then. So a couple of stories then. I mean, you know, again, probably fond memories. I'm gonna say some good memories.
Some good.
What made you do it? What made you want to do that? Prison service, because it's not just a standard.
No, it's not, is it? No, it's not standard 9 to 5. So
and I think even going into it, even as a lad who was 18 at the time, I think even going into it, then you'd guess you're probably going to get yourself into a sticky situation.
Oh yeah. It's always in sticky
so,
situations. I was always fighting with someone.
So what do you think the main sort of core reason inside you was like, I want to go and do that?
I'm not going to say the whole, I want to make a difference.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't me. You know, I was looking at it thinking, well, first of all, it's London. It means I get out of Manchester.
Yeah.
Right. I know I'm back, by the way. I'll never leave again. Just so you know, and I do love it.
But you know, though. You've been there, you've experienced it.
I was living in the capital and that, you know. So I wanted to get out and experience stuff on my own. I didn't just want to be working. I had a job at the time. I was working for Game on minimum wage for an 18-year-old back then, £5.60 an hour or something. You know,
maybe less.
Maybe no, it was less when I was at Next.
Yeah.
It was £5.30 an hour when I was at Next. But someone was working with who was 17 earning £4.60. Yes, I'll get this. I'm more than you. You know.
Brilliant.
But it was like stupidly high sort of salary. It was like 25.5 grand a year or something when I first started, and it was like that's after tax. That's like 1,600-1,700 quid a month. You know,
which big kind of money in those ideas. And I remember.
You know, drank it all night. Yeah. So I could have saved so much, and I just didn't. I was out every other night. About 5 nights a week. 7 days a week I was out 5 nights.
What was it, a pint in London, do you remember?
Back then, I remember moving in with 2 lads who were met, who was working with, and we went to Richmond in Surrey.
Right.
Well, it's technically South London, but it's classed as Surrey. Remember the name of the bar as well, O'Neill's. It's where I went all the time after that, and we ordered 2 bottles of Peroni, not Peroni, 2 bottles of Corona, and
Peroni.
I do hate Corona. It
Smells of weed.
stinks of weed. Yeah, I hate it. 2 bottles of Corona and something else came to about £10.90 or something. I remember taking a swing going, you can put that back, put the lid back on that, don't want it. My local was a pub, I don't know the name of all these pubs, called the Three Horseshoes. A pint of Kronenberg back in 2010 was £4.30 for a pint of Kronenberg.
That's steep for 2010.
13 years ago, mate. Yeah. Naughty amount of change, that, isn't it?
I mean, it's borderline, you know, acceptable now, like 4.30, £5.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Jesus.
But
Mate,
back then,
must have been a big city roll, and then
used to drink a Wetherspoon.
I thought I was coming. No tunes, Wetherspoons, no tunes.
Yeah, no spoons, no shoes, Wetherspoons. That'll do. It's where they call me Glassbear from now, to be fair. So yeah.
Hopefully they won't be watching this then. So
No,
obviously,
honestly, I've tagged them in it before.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
on TikTok. By the way, yeah, when I got my perfect draft machine, it was like, where do you get a nucleated glass? Wetherspoons. Go and buy a pint and nick it.
Class, mate.
Tag him in this.
Love it.
Tell him Dan sent you. I'll ask you who's he.
Or bring up Friday night. We'll bring that back up. Yeah. So obviously prison service. You know, you've explained that. I think, you know, I don't know if you want to touch on, you know, a couple of sort of hairy stories of what happened to you. You know, I think there was a couple of attacks.
Well, this is where my life kind of fell apart, I suppose.
Really, yeah.
Yeah. So, Tara was on maternity leave. Josh is 4 months old, and yeah, basically I got filled in on the exercise yard completely unprovoked. I had no idea it was about to happen.
Wow.
Basically talking like me and you
Yeah.
are now.
Yeah.
Turn to ask for the time. Before you know it, I'm fucking covered in blood. You know, nose bent across my face. My white shirt is now red.
Yeah.
All of the arms and everything, and your training just kind of takes over. But that was the sort of start of where I started to struggle mentally. You know, I came home, I had to go to hospital. Luckily, amazingly, nothing broke. It is bent though, you know, slightly.
Yeah.
It's got a slight kink in it, and you know, it is what it is. Right.
It's a war wound.
It's a war wound, mate. It's a war wound. And yeah, Josh didn't recognise me because my eyes are puffed up and they've gone black.
Was it broken nose? Yeah.
Nose wasn't broke, no. But you know, it was twice the size as it is now, and you know, big heavy bags under my eyes, black eyes, all sorts. You know, one of my eyes was proper like bloodshot and stuff. And I went to pick Josh up and he screamed, started crying, didn't recognise me, thought it was someone else. And that was hard, difficult.
Yeah.
I was a young dad anyway. You know, I was about 21 at this point, and yeah, that was difficult, really, really, really difficult. And I don't think I really sought the help that I needed to seek as a result of that. Yeah.
So the attack then, was it like completely unprovoked? You're in the exercise yard having a chat. Was it with like a prisoner?
With the lad who ended up
Serious?
attacking us, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
okay, so you're having a chat with him. Was that actual normal
Not,
conversation?
yeah, he come in. I can't say too much because I've
No,
signed
of
the
course,
official
yeah,
secrets
of
act,
course.
but I won't fuck the government anyway. I'll say everything. No, he basically, I didn't recognise him. He'd been dumped on us the night before, which is a bit weird because that's not the way it's supposed to happen, you know. Parents didn't know he was there, thought he was at a different nick. I'm like, right, well, got a phone call, so I've got no credit. I have, use my pin, no problem, bud. Don't like being banged up, no worries. It's weekend, a bit difficult, but Monday, get down education, get out your cell all day. Yeah, cool. Anyway, you got the time, bang, that was it. Fucking 6 times he hit me before I even stood up. Yeah, you know. I remember his name. I'm not going to tell you his name.
No, of course, no, that's fine.
I did put something on Facebook about it, and I got told I had to delete it by one of the governors. But I'm not going to tell you the name. But what I put is, you might float like a butterfly, but he punches like a bitch. So you can kind of guess what his name was.
Right.
But yeah, there you go.
Okay, mate. So obviously that happens, then you got Tara at home with 4-month-old Josh. She's on maternity leave. That's just happened to you. How soon after the incident was you sort of back in work? And
2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah.
2 weeks. I took 2 weeks off sick.
Yeah.
Fully paid. Love it.
Happy days.
Worst thing about leaving was my sick pay. 6 months sick pay I got.
Really?
I had 2 weeks off. Gutted. 2 weeks, went back in and did a week of nights, and then got a week off after that, and then did another week of nights to get another week off after that, because your night shifts were compressed. You compress your hours. sort of things, you do 77 hours in the space of 1 week in 7 days, 11-hour shifts, 7 days a week. So the next week to balance it out, you'd have nothing. You won't be aware, sort of thing. So ease myself back into it, I suppose. But yeah, 2 weeks off.
So obviously been quite, I'd call it brave, sort of saying that you had some PTSD off the back of that. So that's not something that I don't think I've ever sort of experienced myself. So how did you sort of come to the findings that you had PTSD from it, and how did that kind of, you know, happen and mature over time?
You kind of start feeling not like yourself. Easily distracted, you know, any sort of thing, anything to kind of take your mind off what's going on at the moment, but then it always goes back to the incident or whatever sort of thing that kind of scarred you. So I find myself washing the pots, and then I have a plate in my hand and a sponge in the other, and then I'll just stop, and then she'd be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, nothing, carry on," sort of thing. Been stood there for 10 minutes thinking about getting twatted, you know, or what I'm going to do to him when I find him, when I get hold of him. You know, when you start fantasising and start playing it over and over and over again in your head. Anyway, when I left prison service, I just snapped one night. Can't remember why, what pushed me, what the trigger was, or anything like that. But I was it's the worst I've ever been. You know, screaming, crying, all sorts. Went and got some help. Went and spoke to the doctor and stuff. Obviously, what does the doctor do? That's antidepressants. Seen a bit, mate. That's me, you know, as you do.
One size fits all kind of approach.
Basically, yeah, you know, and that's not what mental health is. It's, we need to be taking a bit more of a sort of, I don't know, more of a holistic sort of approach to it, as opposed to just have that and shut up. You know, when I'm not a kid, you know, just
masking the issues, isn't it?
Exactly.
Basically, that's what a pill, my mind does. You know?
That's it, you know. So, I got referred basically by Trafford Mental Health. Because obviously we're in Trafford, don't we? So, and
posh boys, aren't we, mate?
Posh boys, mate. Posh boys. Mind you, though. Mind you. Right, you go watch Stratford from here. That's not very posh, is it? They basically said, yeah, we'll get you back after your assessment and blah 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 blah. I did the assessment and then didn't hear back from them at all. So that was it. I'm a young man, scared of his own head, with a wife and a kid who he's trying to provide for, but still, you know, I don't want to let him in too much because I'm supposed to be this strong tower beacon of masculinity.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, and I'm 24. You know, and I'm struggling with it, and it's like I don't want to let you in for sort of things. That's it. Start pushing them away, then, don't you?
So at that time, then, so from a financial standpoint, was everything okay?
Skint, mate.
Skint at that point.
Skint.
So that's naturally going to add some pressure to the whole just life in general, anyway.
That's it.
But what do you think? What part of the attack was it that actually led to you feeling this way? Like, was it the pure surprise of shit that could happen at any point and next time could be worse? Was it more sort of overthinking of what could have been and what could happen in the future, or was it just more kind of like your response to what happened at the time? What do you think? What part of the experience led to the issues and ongoing moving forward?
All of the above, I reckon. I think the element of surprise didn't help because the sort of training I had and the sort of job I was doing kind of meant that you've always got your guard up, just for anything like that to happen. And it wasn't going to happen that day. It wasn't that day. It was not going to happen.
Yeah.
I was not going to get wellied in the face. You know, there was no way in a million years. If you were a betting man, I'd have offered you $1 million supplements on that happening that day, and it happened. Yeah. You know, it just so happened that was the day. The element of surprise didn't help, but obviously the wait for help as well. So obviously you got an alarm system and stuff like that, and it felt like a year had passed. Yeah, before someone actually arrived.
Our colleague was there
to assist, sort of thing. You know.
Did he put the boot in or anything, or was it all just fists? Or?
No, purely fists, and then he just kept trying to come for us. So obviously we're around anyway. So I've used me trying to stave him off, sort of thing. Yeah. And then once staff had arrived, he's realised the gig's up and he started crying his eyes out.
Okay.
Yeah, weird, really weird, very strange.
So, any other attacks that have happened to you, or anything that you've seen in there that's had an effect on your?
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. No, I mean, if anything, I mean, I got bitten by someone. He drew blood. Couldn't drink for 5 days whilst on antibiotics. That pissed me off. Like a pool cue right around my head.
Jesus, mate. Okay, so nothing. So you've had a dig.
Yeah.
Been bit.
Yeah.
And you've had a pool cue wrapped around
Do
your
you know
head.
what? Genuinely.
And you say that's not.
Genuinely, right? And I'm not. This is gospel, mate. Right? It was fucking carnage on this wing. Right? I'm just trying to assess it all. And do you know when you hear? Do you know when you like a branch and you just start whipping it, and you hear the sound it makes? I heard that, and then like a clank on the floor, and then when you drop like some clank on the floor sort of thing. And when I looked down, it was half a pool cue, and then I felt a sting in the back of my head. I was like, "There's blood on that." Turn around, and there's a kid with half a pool cue in his hand. You just fucking hit me with that. Shit himself, didn't he? Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, I bet you did. Right. So was that like so? That's different, I suppose. From I take it there was some kick off going on at that particular point when that.
I'd arrived as basically backup, basically.
Yeah, so you knew you were going into a situation.
I knew I was going into it, so your adrenaline's through the roof.
Yeah, that was hostile, etc. Different to the first attack, which is normal day, standard 9 to 5 mentality, I suppose, in that role, and then obviously you get attacked, and you know. Okay, so PTSD, you then kind of learn to deal with that as time goes on, moving forward. So, what year was the attack?
2010.
2010, and then what year did it take you to sort of get some sort of help with that?
To get some actual proper help?
Yeah.
2018.
Long time.
2018, yeah. I remember turning 30 around the time that I was doing cognitive behaviour therapy. It just culminated. It just added, and then, you know, before that as well, I lost my dad as well, and I'd done a lot of things I'm not proud of. You know, I've done a lot of things that I can't believe Tara's still with me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, I was in quite a bit of debt for drugs, basically.
Yeah.
You know. Anything to kind of cope.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, of course.
Earning dog shit money. You know. Mind you, I like my gaff. I do like where I live. I like it more now.
Home, is it? Yeah,
it is now. Yeah. You know. But I've lived in some shit holes. You know, it's can't afford anywhere else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, so there was a lot of stuff that kind of happened. Straw breaks the camel's back. She basically drove me to Trafford General Hospital one day and basically said, "You've got an appointment in there right now." So I walked in and spoke to some geezer. And they were like, "Right, wait there. They got someone else to come out," and they were like, "Tell us everything." So I did, and then it was like, "I'm going to go get your missus. I don't want her in here. I don't want her wearing this." It's like, well, it's the first step to you getting better. So dragged her in. So I told everything all over again, and she was like, "Right, there you go. You're on the path to getting better now." You know. So yeah, it was a kick up the arse, massive kick up the arse. So
the attack happened in 2010. When did you leave the prison service?
2012.
2012. So how was them 2 years dealing with?
It was difficult. I got I like to think it didn't impact me. It did, of course it did. And a lot of my colleagues would say it behind my back. He's different since then. Yeah. And then one guy called Hugh McCourt, Scottish fella, English bastard, basically said to me, "You're a different person to when that happened." I'm like, no. It kicks off with him. I was fucking fuming. Yeah. You know, how dare you? But he was completely right. You know, he was completely right. The priorities had changed. You know, I was a dad now. You know, I got married the year before. Well, I got married the year after. And I wasn't this guy who went out every night anymore. I was a guy who wanted to get home to his wife and son safely. Yeah. You know. So if I could avoid sort of confrontation, I'd avoid it. Before that, however, first one in. Yeah, exactly. No, first one in, I'm a fucking terror. We don't care. Yeah, that's it. You know, I was a lot thinner than I am now. Yeah. You know, a lot I was like 17 stone actually when I started the prison service, which is mental.
I think
Probably really poorly.
I think the kids situation, just to sort of relate from my own sort of experience, is what changed you, because when I left the Navy, 2012, I went straight into the doors. It was like, for me, you know, leave the Navy, go there, and that's how I was earning my money alongside like a day job as well. And I think the only reason, probably make you laugh, I ever wanted to be a doorman was when I was in the Navy, when I lads who seen a film called Roadhouse.
Right, okay.
I said, no, I haven't. No, he said, brilliant. Patrick Swayze, he's a doorman, he's prolific in his town, in his area, everyone knows him. He's like the guy to get in, hire the muscle. And I watched the film. What a film that is, by the way. It literally just changed my life, but I want to be a doorman. They make it look sexy, they make it look fantastic, and you know, it's masculine, and you get to be one of the lads.
I've never seen it, you know. I've never seen it. I tell you what I did watch on Christmas Eve. Top Gun. First time I've ever seen it.
Serious, yeah.
That might be the best film I've ever watched.
Great film, mate. Die Hard.
Always watch that on Christmas. Yeah.
Christmas Eve, yeah. So for myself, you know, if you think about starting the doors, you know, 22, 23, a little bit of life experience from the Navy, not loads. Standing on the doors in Manchester, along with some lads that I've only really just met, and you're a target for all the idiots that are out in town, you know. And I took that really well at the start, and then after sort of 2.5, 3 years, you get in situations. There's a few bits of trouble that kick off with some people that would seriously just stab you, shoot you, smash a bottle around your head. Seeing all that happen, you know, and I'm not trying to sound like Rambo, but you just see that anyway. You could be out with your missus, but the difference when you work in the doors, you've kind of got to be the person to respond to that. And just like you said, you know, when you got attacked, you were waiting for the people to be there. One thing that I had across the team I was working with on the doors in town, especially the first time round, was a group of 8 lads that were all in it together, and we worked together in festivals in the summer, horse racing, you know, every event that was there, we were all the same team, you know, and I couldn't have asked for a better squad. So I knew if I was first on the scene in any environment, any kick-off, any trouble, irrespective of the type of people that were kicking off, I knew there was going to be my boys with us who shout the radio and they come. But I kind of get what you mean in terms of when that doesn't come, when that doesn't happen. Because fast forward another 2.5 years in a different bar, it's like a basement club, different cultures, different ages, just a place where kind of the only place that's open till 4 or 5 in the morning. It boots off downstairs, 2-man door. The guy that I was with, God knows where he was. Next minute, I'm downstairs in the middle of this riot. It was like the Wild West, and I mean, people jumping over the bar, throwing optics at other people. Just didn't know what to do. And I think, to be honest with you, looking back, it's like, why the fuck would I want to get back in that situation
why would you? Exactly.
for 10 to 12 quid an hour? You know, it just didn't make any sense. So the thought of me getting ready to go out and work a door shift now at 7, 8 o'clock till 2, 3, 4 in the morning, driving home, looking in your rear view mirror in case you piss someone off that night, and they're following you home, all that starts to play in your mind. And I think once you've got a kid, you're there to protect them as well. So I can kind of relate to that, to be honest with you, mate. So 2018, you seek help. Those 8 years, you kind of alluded to the fact that you were drinking, you were taking drugs. I suppose that was like a recreational thing to Friday night, Saturday night, maybe. What's that, bag of coke?
Basically, you know, it was, you know, finished work at 2 on a Friday. I'll be home for 4. Missus to get home. She, you know, she'd be there looking after Josh and that, and then I'd basically go out to my mates or something at 6.
Yeah.
Get in the next day at 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, and she knows all this.
Yeah.
She knows all this now.
That's good.
Because obviously I was hiding from her and that.
Yeah.
Probably about 2016, it got progressively worse.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not proud of it. I'm quite ashamed of it, in all honesty. You know, sometimes I get a flashback to it. I'm like, fucking hell, was that what I was? Or who I am? It's not who I am now, of course not. You know, but that's who I was, sort of thing. You know, I'm absolutely fucking broke on the bones in my ass. But then I don't mind going out and, you know, crate of beer or a bottle of vodka and, you know, a bag. You know what I mean? And are you paying for it? Well, I'm not. You know, it's
I think it's scary. I mean, you know, I'm not going to sit here. This podcast is not about judging anyone for what they have done, what they are doing, what they may do next week, tonight. You know, it's kind of like judge free really, because life's tough. Everyone gets into their thing, and you know, as time goes on, I'll explain, you know, me in a little bit more detail. But you know, my go-to thing if I'm stressed, pissed off, happy, get a takeaway. You know, I kind of rely on the food for that. Kind of the drink as well. You know, in the intro that we done last week, I kind of said that last year I took quite a big role on. It was all on me to make it successful. And if I was anxious or stressed, I'd turn to 3 or 4 pints of Peroni in the bar downstairs because it made me feel better. And then after that, then I go and get a pizza, or you go and get a lot of shit food. It's just all quick fixes that last for that particular evening, and you roll into this big like destruction of, you know, I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack. Everything kind of comes to an end, doesn't it? So, you know, what you've been through in terms of taking the drugs and the drink and everything, you're definitely not alone. There's fucking millions of people out there.
That's what kind of, when I was going through CBT, that's what kind of made me see it a bit better. Was like, you're not the only one, you're not the only person, you know. And all I was doing by struggling through or muddling through or trying to get through as best as I thought I could, all I was doing was harming myself, my wife and my son. You know, if I'd just turned around and just said, no, this isn't the way to do it, you need to go and seek that help, you need to go and chase that referral up, you need to go in, just go and speak to someone. I didn't speak to any of my mates. Never spoke to you about it, you know. No. We worked together for years and that, you know, and never spoke to anybody, you know, just kind of let it fester. And you know, all of a sudden it's like, oh fucking hell mate, I had no idea. So well, yeah, you had no idea because I didn't let you have any idea, but I should have let you.
That's the thing. And so at that point I'd known you probably 3 years, 4 years before you actually went and got help. And if anyone back then had said to me, you know, what do you think of Dan, I'd be like, yeah, he's just a funny guy, great guy, great to have a pint with. And that's the point. It's always the people that are the great guys.
To me, think of age ago. Yeah, it's alright.
I know that's
well, joking,
no,
mate.
That's bullshit. But no, I'd have always said he's a fucking laugh, Dan.
Yeah.
Proper buzz. You know, I've probably even said it to Michelle in the past. You know, work with this guy Dan. Laugh. You know, every conversation I have with people that know you, it's never a negative. It's always a positive. You know, and again, that's like, you know, Tears of the Clown. Let's relate back to that song. It's always the happier people, the fun people that are struggling.
I suppose you kind of need to check in on, I suppose.
And how do we do that though, Dan? So like, if there's someone listening now that's struggling, that's just basically acting every single day to the family, to the missus, to the kids, to the work colleagues, what's your advice, if you like, or what's your tips in terms of seeking that help? And
from what I've seen, and on my own socials as well, you know, my own social media pages and stuff like that. If you speak up to anyone, don't matter who you're speaking up to, someone will listen, and somebody will reach back. If it's a colleague, if it's your best mate, if it's your mum and dad, you know, if it's some fucking random on the street, if it's me, you're following me and drop me a little message, I will reply to you, reply to everyone. You know, it's important. It's important to speak up, because the help is there, you know, and people aren't as judgmental as you think, you know. I mean, I think it's weird. It's hard to explain it. I mean, I think people will say the right thing and then act another way, for sure, you know, for sure they will. But if you're known for speaking up or for having that sort of the mindset of come on. Speak to me, and then you do fuck all with it, then you've been found out, haven't you? You know. I think people are more scared of that, of being found out, than helping somebody. You know. So I reckon my advice would be, honestly, do not let it get too late. Do not let it fester. Don't be trapped in your own head, because there's nothing worse than that. Nothing worse than that. I won't wish that on my worst enemy. What you need to do literally is just put your hand up. Put your hand up. Pause. Done.
I mean, I think, you know, this sort of tails into what I wanted to speak to you about. So it was October, you done Sober for October.
I did, yes.
which is a great achievement, especially in terms of what your social
what
channel,
for you.
you know, 1 minute beer review is all about, which we'll go into in a minute.
Yeah.
So you raise money for Andy's Man Club,
Yes.
which, again, I know a little bit about Andy's Man Club because I did look to go myself about 12 months ago. Didn't in the end because, again, anxious, you know, overthinking, or don't really want to open up in front of a load of blokes. Although looking at Andy's Man Club on socials and what they achieve is amazing. You know, I genuinely do believe that. I seen last year we went to Hale Barnes sort of carnival and they had a stall there. And again, wanted to approach them but didn't. So, you know, I'm sat here doing this podcast really because I'm, I could go out and speak to certain people, but again, I've still got those, you know, that nervousness still about me as to going in to do that. So I'm hoping the topics that we discuss on here just help people in the silent anyway that would never go. You know, you can listen to it and go, I'm not alone with that. I can relate to that. These guys are talking about it. They're still doing okay in their professional lives, so I can, you know, and like you said, if anyone ever wanted to message, reach out to us on socials, and we're exactly the same. We will reply 100%. But Andy's Man Club, so, you know, what do you know about them yourself, and how much money did you raise for them and everything else?
So, Andy's Man Club was started by, well, it's named after Andy Roberts, who committed suicide. So it started by his brother-in-law and his mum. And the motto was always that one man. That's all it was. If they saved one man, they've done the job, sort of thing.
Yeah, genuine,
So it set up, I can't remember the name now, it was in like West Yorkshire somewhere, it might be Halifax actually, the first club. And just that one club grew into, you know, 5, 10, 15, 20 people joining and just listening to each other, you know, just listening and offering a bit of advice or whatever, every Monday at 7 p.m. And it got too big. And there was, well, we need to make a second club then. Right, okay, so they did. And then it was like, I want a club here, but it's too far for me to travel. Well, where are you? Well, I'm in, I don't know, Bradford, Leeds, Manchester, Grimsby, you know. Right, well, let's set one up. And then, anyway, fast forward to today, I think there's about 110 locations now. You know, thousands of men walk through the door on a Monday. And these men who walk through the door, you know, for the first ever time. And you don't have to give your name. You just walk in, hi, my name's Bob. You know, hi, my name's John Smith. Whatever, you know, a generic sort of name as you want to give. You don't have to be referred to it, it doesn't cost anything. You can have as much tea and coffee and biscuits as you want when you're there. You know, the only reason I really actually picked Andy's Man Club as the charity was for Stu. Now Stu is a fellow that I've met through doing 1 minute beer review. He's from Grimsby, which is where Tara's from. Yeah. And he started following us back in December 21, and basically he's a chippy. He's a wood turner. You know, that's what he crafts stuff out of wood. It looks great. So I made me a pen. I've still got it. I still use it at work. It's great, you know. And he's like, I've got a Brewdog advent calendar. Can I tag him in the videos? Yeah, tag me. I want to see him. I want to see this. Go on, do it. Yeah. So we did. And you know, we started talking a lot about mental health and stuff on, because I go live on a Friday night and I just chat shit in front of my phone, sort of thing. And
drop the odd comment every now and then.
Drop the odd comment, you do indeed. I can't buy it. You know, as you do.
Anything to make you laugh.
Anything to make me laugh, as you do. Good lad. I normally do. Sometimes I don't, because your band can be really dead. But I'm joking. I don't love you.
Never having you again.
Yeah, you guys, mate. You're getting me every week after this. And basically, you know, we get 30 people watching, 30 people, and it's not about having a beer. It's about, well, it is about having a beer, of course it is. But you know, what's gone well this week? What's gone bad this week? You know, how's the family doing? You know, what issues have you faced? What highs have you experienced? What lows are you going through? Yeah. You know, we all get to go over and chat. It's a safe space. I'll come back to that in a minute because I've been banned a few times for hate speech. I ain't anti-tape, you know what I mean?
Guidelines.
Yeah, you know, it's mental. But he was struggling with Stu, and he basically ended up going to Andy's Man Club, and he's in a much better place now. And he actually facilitates.
How long ago was that?
March, April, I think. Yeah. And he now facilitates the group in Grimsby. Wow. So he opens the doors and lets everyone in, and he leads it. You know, he's doing really well. Yeah. So I'm like, well, yeah. Do you know what? 94% of my followers are men. And suicide's the biggest killer of men in this country.
Yeah.
So it's got to be a men's mental health charity. So we had gift aid to it, £1,965 raised. So
brilliant, mate.
I'll do.
Happy days, mate. Well done.
Absolutely.
Well done, yeah. Really, really good.
31 days without a beer. Day one was a piece of piss. The other 30 days was fucking torture.
Imagine. So that's Andy's Man Club. Like you say, what is it? 90. How many percentage of your followers are men?
94%.
94%.
Yeah.
So of 31. What is it? 0.6,000.
31.6. Yeah.
Done my research. It's a lot. I'm not going to do the maths unless you know, but that's a hell of a lot of people. 26,000 men that watch. So let's flick on into a 1 minute beer review then. So I actually remember seeing your first video. You didn't tell me you were doing it.
No, I didn't tell anyone. I was just
in my bed one, I think Saturday, Sunday morning maybe, I can't remember, but I remember flicking through and just came across it.
Yeah.
You've got to do the face. So obviously the face was like the intro, and it's hard, obviously we're just starting out doing this, and I think it takes probably, I don't think there's any number of sort of streams that you do, but you find your way.
It just kind of happens, and my signature now is that. I was like, it's quite, people. Somebody said a while ago, it's quite not rude. What was it? It's quite intimidating, that. I said, why? Because you're pointing at me. I'm not. It's a number one.
Yeah.
1 minute.
That's it. Yeah. I love it, mate.
I love that now.
I love it.
Mind you, I get a lot of people doing it to me at work because they all know.
Yeah.
What will they do? Like, cheers, lad. Can you crack on with what I've asked you to do, please?
Yeah, that's it. Jealousy as well, mate, probably. But, so 1 minute beer review then. So what made you start that then? What was the idea behind what it is now?
Bored, mate. That's all I was during like lockdown number 80 or something.
Yeah. Was it lockdown 2?
Third, I think it was third lockdown. It was. Was it third lockdown? I think it was April. So I think it was third lockdown, but it was just before the pubs were allowed to open for outdoor service only, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So you won't get pissed. It has to be cold or wet doing it. But at the time I was doing calorie deficit. I'm back on that now, by the way, and I've lost £6 this week.
Hey, that's fucking amazing. £6 more than me. Well done.
Good lad. But the way it worked was because I was doing calorie deficit and stuff. One weekend I'd have a Five Guys or a dirty kebab or a pizza the size of my head. And then the other weekend after, I'd have a skinful of beer, and I'm talking a skinful of beer, But I've always kind of been into the craft beer side of things. So I had an Honest Brew subscription. They're gone now. Rest in peace, Honest Brew. And I just preferred it. I preferred the taste of it. I was never as hungover on it because the ingredients were a bit better. So I'd go into Tesco and I'd buy a load of Brewdog and a load of other sort of craft sort of beers. And she the missus was like, £3 a can. I'm like, is that all right? Is that what I can do that? No, you want to see some of the money I spend on beer now, mate. It's obscene.
You've won a round though.
Big time won around. Mind you, Sober October helps. Yeah, it was her idea. If I wouldn't have done it, the beer review might have stopped already. Actually,
really?
Yeah, she was like, it's done wonders. Actually, it's been a bit of a silent sort of, bit of a I don't know what I'm looking for.
Respite. What are we talking? Financial?
No. So doing the Sober October, I didn't want to do it, but I'm glad I have done it. It was almost like it's like a cloud with a silver lining.
Okay.
But I'll come back to that as well. Right, so you saw the first one in the kitchen. Bin number one, Brewdog Hazy Jane.
I genuinely remember messaging you saying, "Fucking hell, Dan, you've got 100 followers." I actually remember that.
That was after 40 odd beers, yeah.
I remember saying well done, and I did follow it kind of all the way through. Probably don't watch.
You're actually my first follower, actually, and I am you're the first person I ever followed.
Really?
On TikTok.
Videos, isn't it? Yeah. So at least you can't say I've only got you on here.
No. You've been very much part of it. From the beginning.
So what doors has it opened up for you then? The 1 minute beer review, because 31,000 followers, mate. If I was to get that on TikTok, I'd be over the moon, be buzzing. I think it was achievable.
Don't get me wrong. I've always been very sort of, I don't know, a bit of a pessimist with it. Like, building a following on TikTok is not as hard as building a following on Instagram.
Yeah.
You know, Instagram, that needs to hurry up and take off. You know, I need more followers on there, you know. But no, it's sort of doors it's open was, I went from 350, so Beer 100 I had 350 followers.
Okay.
And then I went from 350 to about 1,000 in the space of about a week. And I'm like, wow, 1,000 followers, I can go live now.
Yeah.
Can't believe this. And a fella called Elliot got in touch with me. Now Elliot was basically he's a marketer. He's self-employed, but he's working with Goose Island. Now I always said that 1 Minute Beer Review would be a blog for myself because I hate Untapped. It's full of idiots. Oh, I love this beer. It's really nice. It tastes like this. It's really good. 3 out of 5. But it was only the wrong glass.
Yeah.
Weapon. You know what I mean? So I can't be arsed with it. But I always said it'd be craft beer only and not macro craft. With Goose Island and macro. But by this point, I'd already done Hop House 13 Lager and Tetley's number 4, Beam and Sound and stuff like that. So I was like, I'll entertain what he's got to do. So he sent me a beer for free. I can't believe it. I'm being sent beer by a brewery, and a big brewery, Goose Island. You know, it comes in this black box. I've still got Goose Island on it. It's made out of wood, and you lift it up, and it was like a home away from home sort of staycation, holiday style marketing thing. West Coast IPA. It was alright actually. A couple of sticks of rock and some postcards in it. Like, this is like the most beautiful packaging I've ever seen ever. I'm so happy with it. So that was the first door I kind of opened with it. When it took off, and I can't remember what beer it was now, but I remember going to bed. I had 1,200 followers. I woke up the next day and I was on nearly 5,000. I was like, it might have been Asahi, the lager, Japanese lager, beer 150. You know, so that quality of views. It just absolutely just sent the thing into the fucking stratosphere. You know, and I'm when I was a smoker, because I don't smoke anymore.
Well done, mate.
I have occasional one, you know, another beer and that. So I was on my dinner break. I was working for a finance brokerage in the centre of Manchester at St Anne's Square.
Yeah.
Yep. Yellow branding, you know what I'm talking about. There we go. Can't say the name. So anyway, I'm having a smoke basically. I was just twatting about on my phone, and some guy walked past him and heard 1 Minute Beer Review, and I was like, thanks me. Rang Tower straight away. You're never gonna believe what's happened. Someone's recognised me in the street. I'm like, nah, no way that happened. And that's happened fucking loads now.
Yeah.
And it's like, I still can't believe it. You know, it's.
Oh, it's brilliant, mate, isn't it? It's really good.
You know.
And you know, I've said it before, I'll say it again. 31,000 followers. It's not an easy thing to achieve, and you've done it, mate. You've kind of got there now. So I know you've sort of partnered up with Matt from Food Review Club, which is that was the most surreal experience of my life, I think. Yeah. You know. Did he approach you?
He approached me. Yeah. He approached me. So I'm used to breweries approaching and giving it. Yeah, I've done this, but it's second nature now. Yeah, send it. Yeah, I'll do. No, I'm very grateful for it.
Yeah,
for any breweries who potentially are listening.
You never know.
You never know, do you? You know, and I've got, you know, free tickets to beer festivals out of it and stuff like that. But then I did. He only knew who it was because I got one of the Guinness Nitro Surges. You can only get them in Ireland. You've been to Ireland and you love a Guinness. Yeah,
love a Guinness.
Love a Guinness. I've never been to Ireland and I want to taste proper Irish Guinness. So I managed to get one of the Nitro Surges. We have to get the Nitro Surge cans for it.
They're the silver ones, aren't they? The silver
No, different, completely different. 558 millilitres these. You can only get them on the island of Ireland.
Okay.
So my mate Kieran's a truck driver, excuse me, and he goes to Belfast regularly. Bring us back some Guinness.
Yeah.
Give me the old don't rate me, won't I? So he did. He sent me a picture of it. That literally, he basically got all the straps and belts out and secured it into one 6-pack in his entire wagon. So, does this beer? It takes off 150,000 views on it. Food Review Club likes your video. I'm like, oh my god! And he's commented on it saying it's class. I follow this guy. I followed this guy since he was eating kebabs in his car with his missus. You know,
his missus was filming.
Yeah.
They've got his own guy now.
That's it.
Callum.
Callum. He's good on his pugs. Because, you know, normal. Never actually met him in the flesh.
Celebrity.
He's verified, isn't he? So,
He is.
yeah, fair play. But I couldn't believe it. Like, this is like, that's like, you know, that's amazing. You know, because I've followed him for years.
Yeah.
You know, I remember watching a lot of his videos when I was, I think it was, where was I? Down in Dorset or something.
Yeah.
Like, bored, on holiday.
Mm.
What are you doing? Going beach? No, watching this. Get me back on the way back.
Well, I remember, like, I think it was like lockdown when I started to come across Matt and I was watching his videos and everything. I was just interested in it. He's just a character.
He is, isn't he? You know,
he's funny with how he does it.
He is. He's funny. He's knowledgeable, and his presence is.
Yeah, it's key.
You know, he is good. But he basically said to me, he messaged me on, I think it was on Instagram, and he messaged me saying, I need to have a chat with you. Let me know when you're free.
Yeah.
So, don't seem too keen. I'll answer that back in an hour. So 20 minutes later, anyway.
Flirting.
Yeah, you know, that's it. You know, I don't want to leave my red either. So, no, 20 minutes later, I messaged him back. I go, fuck off from him. I'm like, no, fair enough. And then he messaged me again saying, I need your number, bro, because I've got something to speak to you about. Yeah, no problem. There's my number. I was in the kitchen having a few beers. I was waiting for a kebab, actually. I just ordered some food. And the phone rings. And I says to Tara, it's him. Answers the phone. Hey mate, you've ordered one lamb and one chicken, is that right? Because you only get 2 lamb. Yeah, I want 1 lamb, 1 chicken, thanks mate. Wasn't it? Wasn't it? It was issues. So eventually, we started talking, and I said to him, "This is in September." And I'm like, "I'm about to start sober October," and he was like, "Are you joking?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm doing it for charity though, so I can't even blow it off, and I've already raised like fucking 600 quid. Not even start till like next week." And he's like, "Right, okay, well have a think about it." I said, "Bro, I thought about it. Sign me up, you know." So yeah, and we got the official nod. At 4th or 5th of October. So
what does that entail then, being a part of that? What does he call it now? Is it just a group of...
Basically, Food Review Club. Well? Yeah, Food Review Club is now a group of content creators. So you've got Matt and Pugs Matt and Callum, Pug Shoots, who do the main sort of stuff. Normally down south.
Yeah.
You've got Joe, who you'll know from BBC Radio Manchester and from the Monk.
Yeah.
Who is Food Review Club's northern correspondent. So he does a lot in Manchester, obviously, he's Mancunian. He's been Liverpool, he's been Leeds.
Nice.
He's got other things sort of planned. You've got Simon, who is a photographer based in London and South Wales. Honestly, his photography is fucking next rip. I've never seen pictures of food look that good. You know, he could take a picture of a salad and
You'd eat it.
I'd eat it. You know, you've got Jay and Mark, who they basically work together in a garden centre. But the coolest bit of the garden centre, them two fuckers sell barbecues, and they know barbecuing. So basically,
some of the clips.
Oh mate, what sort of things they're making on a barbecue? Yeah. It's like, I didn't know barbecue could do that.
Yeah.
You know.
Seen
And then you got Billy, Big Daddy B, who basically he's the man about town who will tell you where to buy. Get yourself to Iceland because of the fucking Mars bar cake that big. Go and buy it. You know.
So he goes round all the shops.
Goes all the shops.
See
basically.
what's there, reviews them.
What's new?
Yeah.
That's where it is. Go
Nice.
and find it. Go and buy it, sort of thing. So it's a creator hub sort of thing. And obviously you've got yours truly who drinks beer and they get a load on a Tuesday and Thursday. So
yeah. So that's it. So that's interesting actually. So Tuesday, Thursday, are they the days that you will drink the beers?
No.
Oh, sorry. So they get uploaded.
They'll load,
right,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So when do you drink the beer and what day is that? Friday, Saturday?
My Food Review Club beer is normally done at the start of the week. I normally do that on a Monday.
Yeah.
Or a Sunday night.
Yeah.
I don't actually drink in the week. So, and I upload at least 2 videos a day.
Right, okay.
So,
fantastic.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
the big man usually has a beer Friday, Saturday night.
Okay, cool. So that's good then, because a lot of people looking might go, I'm sorry to be boring, but might look at that and go, what about this guy's health? You know, if he's drinking every single night,
yeah.
what's the crack there? I mean, obviously, is that been a thought process for you in terms of the past? You know, I'm worried that I'm going to potentially gain weight. It's going to affect my relationships with my missus. Like, for people out there that might be thinking, 'cause you get a lot of questions, you get a lot of people saying, surely you can't do this all the time.
No,
So
no.
What's the thought process behind it? Is there any negatives to 1 minute beer review?
There is. There's negatives and there's positives, and at the minute, the negatives and the positives are on an even keel. I'm not going to say they outweigh because Tara might be listening.
Yeah.
But I don't drink every day. I've never drank every day doing this, so I tend to sit on my videos. So at this moment in time, you'll see, for the benefits of the tape.
Yeah.
I've never been interviewed on the caution before, by the way, just so you know. That they're all the ones I've got ready to upload. Yeah?
So they're like drafts.
Basically, they're ready to go.
Yeah,
they're ready to go. So again, two or three a day. When it took off, when it got big, she said, right, I'll support you doing this. I'm proud of you. I'll support you. Your health comes first, though. The minute your health becomes affected, it's over. I'm pulling the plug on it. So that was what we agreed to. So Sober October needed to happen because it got to the point where I was drinking on a Friday or a Saturday, maybe a couple on a Sunday whilst I was doing Sunday dinner, because I do the Sunday dinners. And then I was having a beer as well on a Tuesday or a Wednesday as well. I'm not talking a beer, I'm talking 4 or 5 beers at least 6% ABV each one, you know?
Not a Coors Light.
Not a Coors Light like your favourite, you know? I remember my first beer. I'm going to say that as many times as I can to you. But no, it got to the point where I needed like a bit of a soft reset.
Yeah, okay.
You know, so 31 days off the booze, raise some money. I didn't save any money, I spent fucking loads of alcohol-free stuff. I spent like 90 quid.
She's done the naught version.
0% stuff, you know, just kind of scratch the itch, I suppose. Completely changed my relationship with it now. So, Friday just gone. Like I said, I know I'm a beer on a Friday night because I go live on a Friday, but I was working Saturday, so it doesn't normally stop me.
Yeah.
I'll go to bed at midnight after having 8 beers, and I wake up the next day with a mouth that tastes like a carpet and a thumping headache, and sit there at my desk with a face like a smack task of it, who's going to McDonald's. Yeah. You know. No, I just I had 4 but tit when I wake because it was hanging. And then I went, well, can I have a cheese butty, please? Yeah, nice one. Sat down.
So prior to Sober October, you would have 8 on a Friday night, go back to work the next day on a Saturday, and muddle through basically, get through the day as quick as you can.
Do the same, for example, on Wednesday, because I start at 10 on the Thursday. Got an hour extra rate, great. Start absolutely just caning it off in bed at midnight, 1 o'clock.
Might be wrong. It's like an excuse to get on it because
No.
So now post Sober October, that's not the crack anymore.
Not the crack anymore. No. So it got to the point where I don't need to be posting 3-4 beers a day. Yeah. Because when I was doing that, they weren't really getting the traction or the views. It's quite a niche market. Yes. You know, not everybody's into craft beer. And again, you know, you've watched me do Coors Light, you've watched me do Stella, and you know, Boddingtons.
Yeah, of course.
You know, that's not done John Smith's yet. Needs to do that. You know, all the big name lagers and stuff. You know, if it's beer, I'll drink it. Simple as that. Yeah. You know, I'll show it you. But when I rein it in. So I've, in all honesty, if I'm clever with it, I could now go 2 or 3 weeks now without having a drink. I'm not going to because I quite enjoy it. Yeah. But I could do that now with the drafts that I've got.
1 a day maybe.
I could do one. I could do 1 a day. Might even get more traction, more likes, more followers, more views, whatever. Yeah. And there we go. But I think a lot of it was I'm not asked about the followers and the views and the likes and the share and everything like that. And to be fair, I wasn't. However, I am now. It's got to the point where it's like, do you know what? I've worked hard on this. I've spent a lot of money on it. Yeah. So I think I want it to take off even further. You know.
No, of course, mate. And you know, just sort of relating back to that then. So what is the next steps for 1 Minute Beer Review then? How do we, you know, what is the next level? What does that look like? What does it want to be? I suppose I'm thinking it's potentially quite a hard thing to say what you want from it because, you know, at the risk that you may seem a little bit kind of cringed out by it. I know it's a weird. You're obviously quite a humble guy anyway, aren't you? Yeah, you're not someone that's arrogant and believes, you know, I think their own shit smells nice.
No, I'm not full well, you know, not a fucking beer I drink.
You know, what is next? Where do you see it? What do you want? I suppose that's a simple question, isn't it?
I want to make some money off it.
Yeah.
I'd love to make some money off it. I was part of the TikTok Creator Fund for 3 months, made 30 quid, and thought, nope, that's not worth it at all. So it came off that well over a year ago. So I don't make a bean at all. So it'd be nice for someone like Lad Bible or the Manc or Uni Lad to pick up on a video and go, oh yeah, can we put this in our social? Yeah, for 50% whatever you're going to make, mate. You know, I'll sign that. Mate, yeah. That'd be nice. It'd be nice for Food Review Club to for that to get a bit, because I get a lot of shit on Food Review Club, but so does John, and so does the
from followers, the public, you mean?
From followers. Who's this guy? Bring back Matt. Who's this guy? Bring back Matt.
All right. Okay.
So Joe gets it all the time, and I get a lot of time. Like, you know, it's not even a beer, it's a lager.
Yeah.
It's a fucking beer, mate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This guy knows. Beer's beer.
Exactly, it's beer, isn't it? You know, this guy knows nothing. It'd be nice for you know, to be fully accepted as part. You know, I'm accepted by Matt and Callum and you know, and Mark and Jay. I'd like the followers too as well. I've got plans to open my own bar, mate, as well. Yeah. You know,
nice, mate.
Once this, I heard this before. Once this Cosy Lives is over.
Well, no, I mean, to be honest with you, there's a place in Manchester, and I know the guy that runs it and his missus, called Jewel.
I know Jewel, yeah, Kev.
And he's a funny guy, and similar to you in ways in terms of what he drinks and the passion that he's got behind it and everything. So at the end of the day, mate, if that's your dream, there's no reason at all why you can't go and do that.
Yeah.
So just kind of skipping back before we kind of close it off, really. Addiction, you know, again, is playing with alcohol is a very, very steep. And I come from, you know, a family, both sides really, that one side of the family are quite prolific on drinking. It's part of their life.
Same here. My granddad's an alcoholic. Yeah. My granddad's an alcoholic. My mum loves a beer as well. Whereas my dad didn't drink.
Yeah.
You know.
That's it.
So.
You know, and then the other side of the family for me, again, you know, quite big on wine and everything. And again, I'd like to say that I haven't got an issue. I'm a binge drinker in terms of how it's explained, but I don't turn to drink every single day for my issues. So any addiction that you feel like you've got in your life that causes you any issues, anything you turn to if you're emotional, sad, happy, or?
Yeah, I mean, I won't have a beer for the sake of having a beer. Like, oh, I've had a stressful day, I'm having a beer now. It's not me anymore, you know. Obviously, you know, back in the day, before I started helping stuff, it'd be getting on the gear, you know.
Yeah.
That'd get me through it, and then I feel like shit the day after, and nothing had ever helped, sort of thing. You know, you're not blind, mate. I'm a big guy, as you know. A lot of that stems from when I was a kid. But I will, as you said, you know, just keeps you busy with minimal effort.
Yeah.
You know, so I'll get a big off bag of Doritos, one at a time.
Yeah.
You know, takes my mind off it, and all I'm doing is just chewing.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm all right then for an hour, and then it's like, great, I feel sick now.
So is that an issue for you?
I think so. Yeah.
Wait.
I think so. Well, yeah, like I said, I've always been big, even as a kid, even as a child.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't miss being thin because I've never been thin. Can't miss what you never had. You know. Which is why I went on a 10-kilometre walk today, and you're going to watch me walk out of your gaff in a minute and laugh your tits off.
That's it. I mean, look, mate. I mean, you know. So what you've recognised that's an issue.
Mm-hmm.
I recognise an issue in my life.
Yeah.
I've hopefully got a guest, you know, next week who's quite big in terms of overeating, and you know, he's lost a hell of a lot of weight, and managed to get himself into a position now where he can coach people out of that.
Yeah.
You know, so that'll be a good guest. And I actually went to use him myself last year, but I just wasn't in the right frame of mind for the process and the journey, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah.
So how do you plan on sorting that out? Because what I'm scared of, like, I lost an uncle at the age of 36. When he was 36, I was only sort of 17, 18.
Yeah.
He was a big guy, but I don't think it was actually about the size. It was just more kind of a heart issue that happened. Cardiac arrest, similar to like Fabrice Mwamba. Unfortunately, my uncle didn't have the medics on site at that particular time, and we lost him. And that was, again, that's a major creep in the back of my mind, because he was 36, I'm 32, and it's like, fuck.
Well, no, I totally, now that I totally appreciate. So I lost my dad, he was 51, and he had a brain hemorrhage. Just like that, you know. But my dad wasn't healthy, smoked like a trooper.
Yeah.
He used to walk into a kebab shop, and it could be heaving, there could be 20 people in there waiting to be served, and boss man would just look at him and go, and my dad would go,
yeah,
just nod his head. 20 minutes later, he walked back in, had 20 quid over, pick the bag up, and the only words exchanged would be, enjoy your meal, and he'd go, thank you. That was it.
Wow. So he was regular.
Regular, you know, he knew he was. He regular, you know, he had gout, he was big, you know, and brain hemorrhage, 51, dead, bye, seen you a bit dead. You know what I mean? So that's in the back of my mind as well, you know. Is that same thing going to happen to me?
Subconscious, isn't it?
It really is, and I've joked about it and I say joked about it, you know what I'm like, I'll joke about anything to kind of mask how I'm feeling about it. You know, I've said if I get to 52, they'll beat my dad, brilliant. I'll happily die then.
Yeah. So you say that to the audience that's listening.
Yeah. I don't fucking die, but live to 100.
Yeah, that's it.
You know?
And again, you know, so probably like me, you know that weight's an issue in your life, in my life.
Yeah.
And it's normally women over the years that would go, oh, Sandra, I need to lose a bit of weight, and Slimming World.
It's always, it's always Davina McCall DVD, weight loss DVD, Fern McCann weight loss DVD. It's never...
Buy it on the 3rd of Jan, bin it on the 23rd.
You know what I mean? It's never, you know, Jason Manford get fit. You know, because he's a chubby lad, isn't he?
You're right, yeah. Ricky Gervais.
It's never anything like that. Oh, in fact, actually, no, to be fair, just quote back a bit, Davina McCall is thin. And she's there like, come on then fatty, get off the couch.
Yeah.
It's a bit disrespectful, you know. It'd be a bit like, well, mind you, to be fair, a lot of the you know, the trim lads like that James Smith guy, he's mind you, he's not an arsehole about it.
No, I think his approach is amazing, mate. And like when I first went on that like weight loss journey, when I was talking to you about the calorie deficit, because I kind of introduced you to that.
It's the only diet that's going to work for me.
Yeah,
it's the only
and
one
like
that's
the
going to work.
MyFitnessPal and tracking stuff, and James Smith for me just kind of like, you know, cleared the path in terms of all the bullshit that's out there. But there's a lot of bullshit out there even now, and there's now a podcast I was listening to this morning that's saying that on a calorie deficit you can't lose weight and then keep it off. So, well, again, more sort of confusing information for people.
I'd be inclined to agree with that to a certain extent. So
I thought about it, because I first of all read it and I thought, bullshit, I lost 4 stone on a calorie deficit in lockdown 1.
I'm thinking now.
But then I put it back on.
Well, you got me onto it and like, bullshit, I lost 3 stone on it. Great, I put 7 on then. You know,
is that what it is?
No, it's a bit less than that. What
6.5.
Probably 6 stone.
Yeah.
13 pounds.
There you go.
No, it's not. It's for me losing from 2 years ago when I started on the calorie deficit that you got me onto. I probably put 5.5 stone on.
So there probably is some truth behind it.
Probably is some truth behind it.
I'll go into it at a later date.
Well, that's to do with me. You know, I went on that walk today with Sarah and Josh, and I finished it. I'm not going to lie to you, mate. I started crying.
Serious?
And and she's like, "What's up with you?" I said, "That last year, well, the year before, when I was getting on my bike,
would have been a piece of piss.
It would have been an absolute piece of piss, and I struggled all the way fucking round, you know. And that was just me feeling frustrated at myself. You know, I've let myself get to this. You know, the beer doesn't help. It doesn't help. But lost £6 this week, and had a drink.
This is the thing, mate. This is the thing. So, you know, I don't want to stop drinking because I don't believe that drinking's an issue for me. I'm not saying it doesn't affect my anxiety and my mental health, but at the same time, it also does a lot of positives for me because I just like to have a beer and I like to have a laugh, and it doesn't lead me to a bag of coke.
No.
It doesn't lead me to have massive arguments and I'm going on 2-3 day benders. It's literally, I have a drink, I have a laugh, I listen to some tunes and I go to bed. Like, that's a typical night for me now. And I think, you know, that's great. You know, that's how it should be, that's what it's there for, and I think you're probably the same.
Yeah.
But, of course, if that then led me to go on some mad-ass binge, and I can't do that. What it can lead me to do is order a pizza in, and order a kebab, which then is 1,500 calories on top of a ton of beer.
Which then comes back to what you said, it was your original sort of issue,
you know?
Yeah.
But equally so, if I've had a great day or something great's happened, you know, traditionally it's like we'll celebrate with takeaway.
Yeah.
So it doesn't just have to be the beer.
Do you know, that's the thing though as well. Do you know, thinking of it, I was thinking, when was my last takeaway? I genuinely can't remember.
Yeah.
But it was probably celebrating something.
Yeah.
It was probably like I had a really good day at work today. That's going to come out. You know, or Joshua, for example, you know, he's in year 8, you know, 13 in March. Can't believe that time's gone. And school report, he had a great school report. So guess what? Takeaway for tea.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. And I think for me, and I don't know about you, but personally, and this is what subconsciously is killing me off, is that it's not only just of what you see in terms of an overeating issue. You know, one, I need to find out how to fix it, and if I do, I'll let you know. Yeah. And then the second thing is like high blood pressure. I had an issue with that 2 years ago.
Right.
Not giving pills. I don't believe in pills. Okay. So I don't take them. And then I'm
Remember
still
that,
thinking, have I got high blood pressure or not? Because I know through the cold showers that I do, the exercise regimes that I can get myself on for 3 months and I smash it, it goes down to normal. But what is it now? And then I've got high cholesterol as well. So then it's like, again, there's some pills and it's like, well, I don't really want to take them. But sometimes that's not even down to being overweight, that's just hereditary. So you could be the fittest man on the planet and have high cholesterol. So got all these factors that relate to like heart disease and fucking having a heart attack and dying one day. Nice one. That I'm trying to deal with. I don't want to take the pills because they just fucking make me think different and I hate it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, where's the happy medium? And then it's like, well, I want to try and get in the gym. Then it's like, well, I'm running a business at the same time. So that takes control, and then on the outside of that, I've got a missus, I've got a kid that I want to spend time with, and it's just like, where the fuck do you find the time to be able to master every single part? And all these people on socials will be like, oh, you get up at 4:30 in the morning and you go for a run at 5, and it's not realistic.
It's not realistic at all, and it's a lot of it is like, I hate the word influencer. Hate it. Yeah. Absolutely hate it. Because everything's a piece of piss for an influencer, isn't it? You know, if for example you're getting up at 4:30 for a run, and you're lying, you're fucking lying to me. How dare you tell me that sort of fibs? There's nobody out there who even enjoys running, let alone running at 4:30 in the fucking morning. You know, get back in bed. Give the missus one. You know what I mean?
So.
But again, though, I mean, you know, you could do that. You can get up at 4:30 if you wanted to, and go and have a little run, you know, and get back at 5:30 and jump in the shower and be on the way to work for 6, get to work for 7. Great. How are you recovering from your run? How are you recovering from all this exercise that you're trying to do now? Because you're not sleeping.
No, that's it. And then people say if you get up at 5, you can fit all that in your head. You know, you're not going to get bothered by emails and phone calls and text messages, which I can imagine is probably great for that. But it's having the how do you get out of bed when your alarm goes off at 5:30 at 6 o'clock? How do you then get out of bed?
Oh, snooze it for starters.
I snooze every day, and I hate doing it.
My snooze is 5 minutes. I do 2 snoozes and then get up on the 3rd alarm. That's what I do.
That's it, yeah. So sometimes I'll wake up before my alarm goes off at 6 and reset it for 7. Because I know I'm not going to get up.
I have done that where I thought my alarm's going to go off in 3 minutes, but I really need a piss. I've gone for a piss and got back in bed and then snoozed my alarm twice. You know,
instead of just getting in the shower.
Yeah,
you know, so
you know, I could do that and get a little less start on the day, but I feel cheated.
Yeah,
I feel cheated,
correct, mate. I feel like I'm gonna get more from being in bed for that extra hour.
You know,
but I don't wake up feeling any better that hour.
No,
later.
I don't. Absolutely.
Feel worse if anything. It's like, well, I could have got ahead of myself. So, you know, there's lots that I still need to work on. I mean, you know, I related to it last week on the intro that me and Dan done, but there was a time in my life where I was in bed all day, every day in the week. And I was a mobile DJ, and I managed to turn up to the gig at 5 o'clock on a Friday, 6 o'clock to get ready. Fuck knows how. Been in bed all week. Couldn't even get a job because I was just that depressed with my life. But because I needed to earn money, I didn't want to put pressure on the missus. And I knew it was easy money, just 5 hours a day to get through to get 150, 200 quid or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I could do the same on a Saturday, so it's a 450, 500 pound week. But I fucking hated the 10 hours I was working for.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm stood in front of people with a mic and I'm trying to get them reared up for it.
There's a reason why you spend all week in bed away.
Exactly, yeah. Literally at the time, 2013, 14, you know, probably lasted for what, 4 months, 5 months. Missy bringing meals up like I'm in bed with some fucking disability and I can't get out of bed. It's not a case of that. Just couldn't drag my head off the pillow. So, you know, of course, I've come past that now. I'm in work every single day. I'm up early-ish, 7 o'clock, 7:30, and I do like a cold shower routine now. every morning. I've done that since the 1st of November 22. So I'll have my warm shower and then I flick it at the end for 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Get it on my watch or I get it on my phone, have it counting there, and I stand under ice cold water for that time period, mate, because...
What does that do?
So there's loads of benefits. I mean, the biggest one is, for me, it just gives you some clarity. You know, it makes you feel awake, it makes you feel energized, it brings a lot of blood to the surface, it helps your lymphatic system as well, so it helps with immunity.
Yeah.
There's loads of benefits, research it, I'll put some link on the bio.
Yeah, do that.
But there's a guy called Paul Wim Hof that absolutely lives by it. He's got a breathing routine as well that he says helps with depression and anxiety. So again, there's a lot more information and a lot more facts you're going to get from him than me just trying to remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But it's something now that I can't not do. It doesn't matter if I'm hungover, if I've got a headache, whatever, I still do it in the morning every single day. So I recommend that.
You feel better?
Feel better for it, yeah. Feel a lot better.
It's working.
That's it,
There we go. So when going back to about like, how do you crack the you know like the overeating and stuff like that, you know, can you not like associate how you're feeling at the time when you flick that switch to cold water to how you feel, because that's basically a CBT sort of mechanism, you know. So when I was doing CBT, any sort of like thoughts I was having, I'd ultimately think of something that made me smile about, normally it was because it was mainly to do with my dad and stuff, about that, and then all of a sudden I'm alright, I'm through it again sort of thing. So it's like, if you need to, you know, this might not work, you need to fucking pick up the phone and get up to Just Eat and order, you know, 20 nuggets or something. Could you not like associate your mind with how you feel when you flick that switch to cold?
Yeah.
And maybe that.
No, it makes sense.
I'm not an MD, by the way. I'm not here to give you advice.
No, it's not about this. But this is what it's about. It's about chatting, isn't it? At the end of the day, and just trying to help each other through things. But for me, every single morning when I flick the switch on the shower to ice cold, I hate it.
Yeah.
You know, and I do this breathing thing in from my nose out from my mouth to try and get my body ready for it. Yeah. And I start in the same position every single morning, and it's fucking horrible. It really is. And some days I enjoy it. Whereas like this morning, for example, we've done a little gym routine, got back, and I hated every second of it. I couldn't wait for 2 minutes to end. But other times, I can stand there and go, I'm really enjoying this, think I'm really brave, and get to like 3 minutes and then shit myself and switch it on. But like, you are right. Another good reason as well, that Wim Hof says, is you're putting your body through stress manually. Yeah. Instead of leaving for work late and you're stuck in traffic, that's something that
you can't
is stressing you out. Whereas you're putting your body through stress, so you're doing that yourself. It's kind of like a learning mechanism where you put yourself through that, so nothing throughout that day, unless it's something drastic, but nothing, the everyday sort of stresses, it takes that away. You know, it reduces your heart rate by around sort of 20 to 30 beats a minute just by standing and putting yourself through that manual stress. So a lot of benefits to it, and it's definitely helps because I wear a Fitbit a lot of the time and I track my heart rate and it's lower than what it was before. So again, you are right, flipping my process there into the eating sort of regime, and that might work. So, but yeah, cheers for that, pal.
No worries, mate.
Never
See
know.
if that out.
So yeah, just to close it off, mate, I thought just a little bit of banter I'd do. That's what we're good at.
We are good at that, mate.
But we're a bit awkward now, we're on camera, mate. Got to think of some jokes off on air, but no, mate. I mean, I think
I've got a joke for you. Carry on. No, carry on. I know I've already ruined by saying this joke.
I mean, what I was gonna say, we've been talking to a company recently called Nature Camp.
Alright.
They're out there and it's got like 20,000 followers. Some relation to like My Protein. I think the ex-owner has now started that company. It's a CBD company that help with things like anxiety, depression. You know, it's not sort of marketed to say we can fix this. It's just more of an aid, and some of the customers that they've got on their channel have said it's helped me with this and it's helped me with that. So I think they're going to be sort of, you know, sponsoring the show in the future.
Oh, nice.
Have you ever tried anything like that?
I haven't, but I've heard a lot of good stuff about it.
Yeah.
You know, I follow on YouTube, I follow Tom and Luke Stoltman, the World's Strongest Brothers. You know, so Tom's not just one World's Strongest Man again. But if these big lads are plugging it, then it's got to be good.
Yeah.
It's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, there's like gummies, there's oils, there's loads of different things that you can say with it. There's a misconception that it's drugs and it's cannabis and everything else like that.
It's not THC though, is it? It's CBD. Exactly, so it's the legal bit.
Yeah,
the illegal bit is dusted.
Left in a little £10 bags.
Exactly.
But no, like I say, I've not got tons of info on that at this moment in time. But I feel like, you know, for those anxious people out there or people that are suffering with depression, then this may be, you know, a small step in towards sort of helping with that. But we'll see how that goes, mate. So that goes.
Absolutely. Well, I want to tell you about the time that I was travelling in South America, mate.
Really?
Not South America, sorry. What did I go wrong? Southeast Asia.
Right, okay. You did actually, to be honest.
Yeah. It was about 20 years ago or something. When I was 14. Anyway, got lost in the jungle. Some monk found me.
It's not lined up.
No, genuine story this. Genuine story, mate. Some monk found me and he took me back to the monastery. And he was like, oh, here's some food and water and clean clothes and a bed. Goes to sleep and that. Here's this noise. I'm like, what's that noise? Next day I'm doing monk stuff with the monks. What was that noise? He was like, can't tell you. I'm like, why? You're not a monk, mate. Can't tell you what the noise is. I'm like, nah, having this. Next night, here's it again. So goes and investigates. Behind this door, this wooden door, like, door's locked. I need to find out what this noise is. I need to find out what it is, you know. So the next day I says to Mr. Monk, I says, what's that noise? He goes, I'm not telling you, mate, you're not a monk. So, well, how do I become a monk? He said, well, you've got to go and count all the blades of grass in the world and all the grains of sand in the world. And I come back here and we'll tell you. Well, you can become a monk and we'll tell you. I'm like, right, okay, no problem. So off I went. 20 years it took me. Counted every single blade of grass and every single grain of sand. Got back to him and I said, it was only last week this. I said to him, there's 484 quadrillion, 393 trillion, 122 billion, 567 million, 403,299 blades of grass. You know, okay. And how many grains of sand? Grains of sand, there's 780 septillion, 648 quintillion, 344 quadrillion, 512 trillion, 227 billion, 961 million.
Doing well.
Cheers, mate. 485,123 grains of sand. And he went, right, okay. Well done, you're now a monk. So I'm a monk now, by the way.
Congratulations, man.
Cheers, pal. So he gives me the key to the wooden door. Can't wait to see what this fucking noise is. Opens the door. There's a silver door. Like you taking the piss. Opens the silver door. Gold door. Opens the gold door. The door made out of crystal. Opens the door made out of crystal. There's a door made out of emerald. Opens that one. Door made out of jade. Like these are taking the piss here. Opens it up. There's a door made out of diamond. This one's locked. Like, it's just the last one because I want to know what this noise is. Yeah, it's the last one. And it's a diamond key for the diamond door. So I open the diamond door, opens it up, and there it is, the source of the noise.
What is it, pal?
Can't tell you, mate, you're not a monk.
Okay, no. What a cunt.
You love that, don't you? That's 5 minutes of your life you're never getting back, AJ, mate.
Look, mate, I was waiting for the punchline on that. I was waiting for the punchline that fucking isn't one. But no, mate, listen, thanks very much for today. It's been class.
It's been a pleasure, mate. It's been a pleasure.
Obviously, the listeners have loved it. So, what's your socials, mate, for people that want to check in?
At 1 Minute Beer Review, number 1. I.e. the actual digit one, not ONE. Minute Beer Review.
Am I qualified to do that? Am I allowed?
You're allowed, yeah. You're allowed.
Am I part of the clan?
That's you, mate.
Top man, thank you very much for your time, mate. Okay, yeah.
Pleasure, mate. Pleasure as always.
Gracias.
Gracias, mate.
Galvani.
Galvani, yeah.